Making our headlines today, Thursday, April 2nd. The next phase of legislative amendments to the immigration law come into effect on Friday, May 1st. The Cayman Islands Fire Service and Mosquito Research and Control Unit both have advice for campers this Easter weekend, and a team of Cayman's best junior track and field athletes is currently in Grenada for the 2026 CARIFTA Games. Good evening and welcome to CIGtv News, your official source for the latest and most accurate government information. I'm Levita Thompson. The Cayman Islands Government has confirmed an official date for the rollout of revised immigration legislation. The ministry responsible for Caymanian employment and immigration, along with the Workforce Opportunities and Residency Cayman, known as WORK, says the new law takes effect on Friday, the 1st of May. The date was selected to allow time for full system readiness, covering technology, updated application forms, and staff training across all customer-facing teams. Minister for Caymanian Employment and Immigration Honorable Michael Miles gave further background exclusively to CIGtv as a part of our Understanding Immigration Reform series.
What has happened over a course of time is that we decided that, one, we needed to train up our team. We could not just hot off the press, implement something that ultimately our people didn't actually become more familiarized with. So over the last 3 months, we've been training the team. We've also taken the time to train the boards, because ultimately we also want the boards and the team to work simultaneously to implement this. Both, it's going to be critical that both get this right. We also included the Attorney General's office, because there were some critical things that was in the details of it that the boards and the immigration team needed to become very familiar with. There's never going to be 100% of this, and what I've tried to get our leaders from the ministry and the departments to understand, if we can get this 80% into the community, where the community acknowledges that there's specific changes that were made and they're able to produce this in a way to follow it to a T, we've done our jobs. There's always going to be a 20% that ultimately, doesn't matter how much training we do, there's always going to be a curveball somewhere in this that we're going to have to, on a fly, do something or pivot. And that's what I'm prepared for at this point, that 20%. How do we pivot? How do we look at the law in its entirety and said, okay, this part isn't working. We now need to pivot or develop a policy that fills the gap. So those are the things that I am looking at right now. But I think for the most part, we've done all we possibly can in order to get the amendments of 2025 and amendments of 2026 at least ready to be rolled out.
We will continue to share more from Minister Miles each week, so be sure to tune in to CIGtv News for additional information. The Mosquito Research and Control Unit is issuing an own advisory for Easter, as moderate mosquito activity is expected across the Cayman Islands over the holiday, with higher biting levels likely in some areas. Ground Operations Manager Leonardo Rodriguez is asking the public to assist the MRCU by reporting areas where they may encounter mosquitoes.
We encourage the public to report mosquito biting, because that way they give us a idea how to deploy our logistic and properly plan mosquito control operations around the island.
Residents and campers are urged to apply repellent containing DEET, picaridin, or IR3535 and wear lightweight skin-covering clothing when spending time outside.
People often ask us, what is the best mosquito repellent to wear? We recommend DEET, picaridin, or IR3535. Now, the higher the active ingredient, the longer it will last. So if you choose one that has a lower percentage, that just means you have to reapply that mosquito repellent more frequently. Some people don't like to get higher percentages because it often leaves an oilier look on your skin. So some people do choose the lower amount. Again, it just means they have to reapply it more often in order for it to remain effective.
April is also Heartworm Awareness Month, and MRCU is reminding pet owners that swamp-bred mosquitoes active this time of year can transmit heartworm to dogs and cats, though they pose no disease risk to humans. Visit mrcu.gov.ky to learn more. The Cayman Islands Fire Service is urging the public to take extra precautions during camping this Easter weekend. Mr. James Bodden, Fire Safety Inspector, and Mr. Jordan Rankin, Pump Engineer, appeared on Radio Cayman's For the Record to share more.
So let's talk about Easter and preparedness. And this is not something that is new to the Cayman Islands, but we also see people amping up the whole process of camping. At one point in time, camping was like when you were in Scouts and Cubs and you go out to camp. Everything was about nature, and living through nature, using natural things. But these days now, people will take their television sets, they have their generators, they have their refrigerators, everything, when it comes to camping. And some of them may stake out their campsite, a week or so in advance, and some may stay even after the Easter week is over as well. Some may stay longer than that as well. So let's talk about what the Cayman Islands Fire Service will be doing to ensure that campers are kept safe, that they observe, all of the safety rules as well. Gentlemen.
Absolutely, sir. As we head into the Easter weekend, many families will be on the beaches, camping, cooking, and enjoying time together. It's one of the most enjoyable times of the year, but it's also when fire risk increases significantly. While it's a fun and festival weekend, it's important to remember, enjoy the weekend, but stay safe, stay fire safe. Fire safety isn't just about personal safety, it's about protecting others as well. Property and the environment. A single unattended fire can quickly become a community-wide emergency. So the fire service, I say that to say this, is that the fire service is adamant that we make the public aware of the hazards, bonfires and using generators, etc., and not properly attending to those uses of those things. Is that we try to, like I said, make the public aware that the proper usage and safety tips surrounding using those.
And since camping is going to be throughout the island, does the fire service have any plans in terms of monitoring these campsites, maybe stopping in, seeing how things are going, giving advice? What do you do as a proactive measure?
Okay, so as a proactive measure, people that are camping on let's say Crown land, they should seek permission from the PLC, which is Public Lands Commission, and also the Department of Environmental Health. These getting permission from these two entities will ensure that the fire service will assist in going out to these campsites to do what we call visual inspection, to make sure that when they set up their bonfires, it's away from flammable materials and so forth, and depending on the wind conditions as well, plays a role as well.
To watch the full interview, head over to the Radio Cayman YouTube channel. Now for today's sports news. The Cayman Islands will be cheering on its young track and field athletes this weekend as the 53rd CARIFTA Games get underway in Grenada. Competition runs Saturday through Monday at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium in St. George's, bringing together the Caribbean's top junior talent in the under-17 and under-20 categories. We wish the entire Cayman Islands team the best of luck as they represent our islands on the regional stage. Now for a look at our weather forecast. Low to mid-level moisture will move across the area today, increasing the chance of showers. Moderate winds and seas are expected as a ridge of high pressure dominates over the northwest Caribbean. Radar imagery shows isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving west. Tonight, we can expect cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall near the mid-70s Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. The outlook is for moderate winds and seas expected through Saturday. For local weather updates, be sure to visit the Cayman Islands National Weather Service website, weather.gov.ky, and follow their Facebook page for the most reliable coverage. If you're watching us on the CIG YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed with the facts straight from the source. That's all for today's news brief. I'm Levita Thompson. Have a safe and enjoyable Easter weekend. We will resume broadcasting on Tuesday, April 7th.